India and Sweden have strong value systems when it comes to nature-based solutions, when it comes to circularity, or shunya as we know it in Sanskrit. There's also both in India and Sweden an interest to strive towards a balance, or lagom as we know it in Swedish. This year, the theme for Engaging India is The World is One Family, or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. If we are to look at the issues of balance and circularity within the larger perspective of the world as one family, how can that be done? What are your perspectives on that?
Yes, that's a very interesting question, and it goes really to the heart of the many challenges that humanity faces today. You mentioned about the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam philosophy in India, and the Shunyata and Lagom. All these in a way talk about balance, as you mentioned, and also the certain interconnectedness of everything and interdependence. So whatever challenges that we see today, whether they are of economic nature or the climate change or pandemic or security, all these aspects are linked. So nobody can sort of prosper or live in isolation. And since the challenges are global, their solutions also have to be global.
Right.
And that's where the contribution or role of India also comes in. Countries are interdependent, so economies are interdependent, societies are interdependent, and that interdependentness or the interconnectedness is reflected in some of these concepts that you are talking about. The world is one family, or the circularity, or lagom. Now, the many of the challenges that are arising are because of over sort of extraction of natural resources, the global warming, and all the climate related issues that we face. And now any such global challenge can only be solved now through global cooperation and global action. And there India is very, very relevant, because we talked about India being 1/5 of human population, a large economy. So any solution, if we want to have on SDGs, on climate, on security, prosperity, the Indian contribution or role is very relevant to the wider global context. And that is where we see this the whole issue of balance and then the global solutions come in. Both Sweden and India have a long tradition of development partnership. In the case of India, right after independence, we have been engaging with our partners in terms of capacity building, in terms of higher education and other areas.
Yeah.
And now the level of cooperation is much higher. The development partnership projects are much larger, but at the same time they are very much conscious of the priorities and the needs and the requirements of the partners themselves, and then how these are sustainable. So whether you have public transport or public hospitals, public health, irrigation, agriculture, disaster resilience, all these things are built into these projects which India is working with their partners. And similarly, the Swedish partners are also have a similar focus. So as we go forward, these are some of the areas which will work towards retaining a balance and more sustainable solutions. And I could also add here two other initiatives. We talked about the LEAD IT, which again is working for sustainability. But then we also have the International Solar Alliance, which India and France had initiated in 2015 at the Paris COP. And more recently, the Coalition for Disaster Risk Resilient Infrastructure and CDRI. These are again major global initiatives where India has been very, very active to see how we can move towards a more sustainable development solutions for the entire humanity.